Yes.
Thank you very much for talking to me. You were just, you can lift your mic.
Yeah.
Can you just please introduce yourself?
Thank you so much, Flex. I'm Honorable Lamin Sanneh, National Assembly Member for Brikama South, a member of the Agricultural Select Committee. Yeah.
Thank you very much. You just saw the presentation.
Yeah.
And one of the key issues they raised is funding gap. What's your overall general reaction to the presentation, the achievements, and the progress so far of the roots?
To be very much honest with you, I think if you're outside roots, the perception you have vis-a-vis the presentations to us today show a total different picture. I was part of the team that approved the budget line for roots in 2019, December. That also coincided with the advent of COVID-19. And really from the inception when it was approved on the September 2022, the first disbursement was in March 2021. So if you look at the timely disbursement, it's a major gap. And the most important aspect of it, that's the funding gap of $20 million. So these are very serious problems. And Roots has a lifespan of 6 years. So like it started in 2020 and now we are in 2022. So we are only left with 4 years to go. But if you look at the level of implementation and the time, the time frame, it's another menace. So this is a big problem. And if you look at it, I empathize with them. Even whereas up till today, they have vacancies that are not filled in as a result of the remuneration aspect. If one quality job, you must go in for higher costs in order to sustain them. And the most important thing, Roots is crisscrossing in the entire country, trying to improve the life and livelihood of ordinary Gambians through agricultural production. But I was very much enticed with some of their strategic plan, especially access to market, the value chain and the linkage. These are very important things. I think that has been lacking because what happened, agricultural production are seasonally based. So sometimes they all produce at the same time they come to the market. So the producers are at the mercy of the middlemen. They make profit on the detriment of them. So eventually people are discouraged when they come to production. So eventually this is how people divert agriculture and go and do other things. So with their intervention, if they are supported, I think that disparity will be bridged and that will help the farmers to continue producing as we want. And again, we'll still challenge the agricultural ministry to come out with a regulation whereby some of these goods that are produced in the country will be banned from coming in so that we can allow our own people to produce what we are going to eat. And secondly, a strategy where there will be constant research. What do we need? You cannot be producing any time that is not needed by the people. So eventually it becomes a wild elephant project. So this is very important and I want them to work in that dimension.
Our last question is to find out from you, what will the National Assembly, how can you support? We have them serious concerns.
Yes.
Their vehicles are being impounded, they are delayed to get finance to do this. How can you help them?
Yeah, I think this is a very important question. First, I think we have to look at the issue of the funding gap, which is very crucial here. We need to involve the two ministries, the Finance Ministry and Agri. We'll call them and tell them exactly the issues Roots project are confronted with. So that's going to be, we're going to discuss with them and see how can we improve upon this, particularly in terms of disbursement. Secondly, we'll put to them, Roots is a project of its own and it has a lifespan. They have very limited time to implement, to deliver to the people. So if the operational mobility has been frozen or no at a regular interval or no specific reason, I think we will not ascribe to that. That has to be discouraged. And the other aspect is the budget is coming. We can also see how can we extend the agricultural budget and make sure Roots is adequately catered for. So as a committee, we will do that. We can do that advocacy for them during the bilateral, and we can bring the two ministries together, put them to tax, come out with a framework. How are we going to improve in the area of disbursement? How are we going to look for funds, particularly the funding gap? How are we going to bring those things? The issue of impounding vehicles, that should be a no-go area. We will not even entertain that because it's purely meant for operational vehicles. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable, for giving us your time.
Thank you.
It's a weekend, and you had extraordinary
Session.
session.
Just
So I'm
on
sure you
Thursday.
had a very busy week.
Indeed, very well.
Perhaps you can just introduce yourself to our listeners, who you are, and some of them, they don't know that you are the chair as well.
Yes.
This very competition.
Indeed. Thank you so much. I am Honorable Omar Darboe, member for 𝒂𝒄𝒄𝒏 constituency. At the same time, also care to Agri Select Committee and Rural Development.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
I really appreciate you talking to us.
Thank you.
You spoke today about the importance of this roots project, and obviously they also gave you an update as to their project, how far they are gone, their achievements. What's your general reaction to the presentation and the progress of the roots project?
Yeah, the general reaction I would say is I am somehow flabbergasted simply because when we were approving this project in the National Assembly, we were told that it's $80 million project. And I can say that day, the whole National Assembly, were somehow very happy, and especially when we were informed that it's going to be, intervening in 39 districts of the country. By looking at the majority of National Assembly members, we are all from provinces. And one way or the other, we all see ourselves in the project. So that's why we are so quick, to ratify. And from the presentation, I happen to see that, there are funding gaps, which really, disturb me somehow. And my hopes were somehow lost. And I think there's a necessity now for the Select Committee to tighten their belts, to see the partners and to see, the people responsible for mobilizing these funds to do what is urgently needed, because Gambian people are in need of these funds, and they want to see root projects executing their activities as they promised since at the inception. So that's my general reaction. The general reaction, I'm somehow surprised that I found things this way today. Yeah, the challenges really.
Significant number of challenges
Yeah.
you highlighted, and most of
Yeah,
them
yes, it's resources, and even the underfunding, the budget line, which is from GLF, where we can play a crucial role in that. We can lobby, we can influence National Assembly to increase more, and which we will do, inshallah.
even in this possible, when you look at the GLM,
Yeah,
you see that in the last quarter, they are putting lots of money.
Yep.
First, second,
Yep.
this quarter is like zero.
Zero, yeah. Exactly. I think we have to come in to make sure that scenario change. Inshallah. That's something which we can do something about it. Because that's our number one core function, is to lobby and advocate for the institutions and department under our purview. And that's one thing we will do, inshallah. Yes.
And finally, just to highlight the final question which I will show is, if you can tell us, as the committee chairperson, will you ensure that the budget for the roots, last year, they did highlight that they had 5 million from the government.
Yes.
Will it be more or will they have less? Because
Yeah.
there's a $20 million cap.
Yes. I think that's really important for us to come in. As I said, we will make sure that the budget line is increased, because by looking at it, it's important and it's necessary for that line to be increased. And there is no doubt. I think the Minister of Finance, the Minister of Agriculture, they will take heed of our advice as a Select Committee, because that's our responsibility to advise and direct them, and we will do. Yeah, inshallah. We will make sure that the budget line increase, definitely. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Even after the event,
Yep.
which was supposed to end at 12, we are
Yep.
after one,
Yep.
giving us another event.
Thank you so much. It's our responsibility as a people representative. We only do what our electorate expect us to do. And this is one of those. Yeah. So sorry for, cutting your time or whatsoever, because if left with you people alone, we would have been here for the whole day. But we don't have time, actually. So right now, I'm on the way to my constituency to see my electorate. So there's no time, actually. Thank you so much. Thank you.
We hope to see you back soon. Thank you.